Camping is supposed to be about relaxation, a night under the stars, and disconnecting from the world. But for some people, the woods and campgrounds hold something much darker. These are 3 disturbing true horror stories from Campgrounds. It was the summer of 2018. I was camping with my girlfriend at a small state park in northern Michigan. We weren't far from other campsites, but the woods around us were thick, and at night it felt like we were completely alone. On our second night, around midnight, we were sitting by the fire when we heard what sounded like twigs snapping. At first, we assumed it was just an animal. But the sound kept circling the site, slow, deliberate, like footsteps trying not to be heard. I whispered to my girlfriend, "Do you hear that?" She nodded, her eyes locked on the dark tree line. We sat in silence, and then I saw it. A pale face, just barely lit by the fire, peeked out from behind a tree. It was a man, not an animal. His head tilted slightly, like he was studying us. I stood up quickly and called out, "Hey! Who's out there?" The face disappeared. We heard running through the woods, but it didn't fade the way it should have. Instead, the footsteps circled us again, closer this time. I grabbed the flashlight and shone it into the trees. Nothing. Just empty woods. But the feeling of being watched was unbearable. We decided to put the fire out and go into the tent, locking ourselves in with the small zipper as if that could keep us safe. Neither of us slept. All night, we heard faint crunching sounds, like someone walking in circles around our campsite. By morning, when we finally stepped out, we froze. In the dirt around our tent were dozens of footprints, bare feet, circling us over and over again. Whoever it was had been watching us all night. Back in 2015, I went camping with 2 of my college buddies. We picked a remote campground near a small lake in Oregon, a place without many visitors. The ranger told us we'd probably have the entire area to ourselves. That first night was peaceful. But on the second night, around 2 a.m., I woke up to a sound that still haunts me, a woman screaming. At first, I thought it might have been an animal, but the scream was human, high-pitched and desperate. I shook my friends awake, and we all listened. The scream came again, echoing from the direction of the lake. We argued about what to do. One friend wanted to check it out, the other said absolutely not. I didn't want to go, but the screams kept coming, sometimes closer, sometimes farther away, like whoever it was running in circles. Finally, we grabbed flashlights and cautiously walked toward the lake. The night was dead quiet, except for our footsteps crunching in the dirt. Then, just as we reached the shoreline, the screaming stopped. We scanned the water and the woods, our beams cutting through the fog. That's when one of my friends pointed. There was a figure standing knee-deep in the lake. A woman, with long hair covering her face, is completely still. "Hey! Are you okay?" we shouted. No response. We took a step closer, and then she let out another blood-curdling scream. But it didn't sound right, it sounded almost fake. Like someone imitating a scream. We bolted back to camp, tripping over roots in the dark. We packed up immediately, not even bothering with the tent, and drove off. The next morning, we went to the ranger station to report what we'd seen. He just gave us a tired look and said, "You boys aren't the first ones to hear her." This happened to a friend of mine, but I've never forgotten it. She and 2 other girls went camping in Colorado during the fall. The campground wasn't crowded, maybe 3 or 4 other tents scattered around. That night, they locked up their food, started a small fire, and eventually went to bed in their shared tent. Sometime after midnight, my friend woke up. She thought she heard breathing inside the tent. Heavy, slow breathing that didn't belong to her or her friends. She sat up and whispered, "Guys, wake up." But before she could even shake them, she heard a zipper. The sound wasn't from their tent door, but from one of their sleeping bags. Her friend jolted awake with a scream. The bag she was in had been zipped up completely, from the outside. Someone had zipped her inside while she slept. In a panic, they all scrambled for the flashlight. When they shone it around, they saw the tent door slightly open. Someone had been inside with them. They rushed out, yelling for help. A couple camping nearby came running over. But whoever had been in their tent was gone. When they checked the area in daylight, they found something worse. Near the back of the tent, hidden in the trees, was a backpack. Inside were knives, duct tape, and a camera. The police were called, but whoever owned that bag was never caught. Camping should be about peace. But as these stories show, the woods can hold something far more sinister than wild animals. Which story scared you the most? Comment below and subscribe for more true horror stories.